A portion of this video is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. For more information about Sheath, visit the link in the description below or wait till the end of this video to hear more about them from me.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, are you prepared to negotiate with Democrats now?
Mr. President, on Jeffrey Epstein.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for going.
Mr. President, can you respond to these Epstein emails that were released today?
It is in no way an exaggeration to say that Donald Trump and MAGA world and the administration, at the very least, is in panic mode. I know you see that a lot on thumbnails and titles, YouTube videos. Oh, Trump's panicking, but they're panicking. You don't pull a singular Congresswoman, Lauren Boebert, into the Situation Room to try to twist her arm and pressure her to remove her signature from the document that ended up going to vote to release the Epstein files. You don't do that if you're not panicking, the discharge petition. So Donald Trump yesterday held a little presser in the Oval Office, a little publicity stunt in the Oval Office where he signed to reopen the government that they shut down. And at the end of it, he says, well, any questions? Anybody got any questions? And of course, it was a deluge of questions about Epstein and these new emails that we've read, that some disgusting stuff, that Donald Trump spent hours alone with one of the underage victims. That we've got emails with Jeffrey Epstein saying, you see, I know how dirty Donald is. The convicted pedophile saying he knows how dirty Donald is. Reporters want to know. Americans want to know. The world wants to know what was his involvement and why is he working overtime to keep the information secret? Is he just protecting his pedophile friends, or is he himself, as many believe, a pedophile, a rapist of children, and now President of the United States of America? And so this is how the presser ended, and you will not be surprised to learn he did not answer any of their questions.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if you have questions. I think we really have a really great situation. We have a country that we love, and we have a country that's in great shape. As you know, we have now it's over $18 trillion invested in our country by other people and countries. That's a record. There's never been a country that had so much, and that money's going into also building new auto plants, new AI plants, new everything. We've never had a time like this. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, are you prepared to negotiate with Democrats now?
Mr. President, on Jeffrey Epstein.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for going.
Mr. President, can you respond to these Epstein emails that were released today?
Well done, Mr. President. Great job.
I will keep the shot. We'll keep.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be there either, Donald. I wouldn't want to be answering questions about my criminal activity either. Now, let me say this, though. There's another angle of this, and let me tell you why I talk about panic. We've seen dozens, if not hundreds of times when a presser ends and the staffers in the Oval Office, White House staffers, try to shoo the press away. All right, it's done. Okay, let's get out. But I'm going to play this angle. I think it's a C-SPAN clip. Watch the staffers on the left-hand side of the screen and watch the abject panic in their eyes. They are frantic to get the people who are asking the Epstein questions out of the room, while Donald Trump is glad-handing with Mike Johnson, who's been running interference for pedophiles for months. But watch the panic on the staffers' faces and just how they are frantically trying to get the press out. Watch this.
Thanks for getting us through.
That's panic. That's worry. That is discontent, to say the least. Now, what this presser was about, obviously, was about reopening the government that they shut down. It was also giving Donald Trump a chance to lie about the state of the economy and ramble like an abject know-nothing about the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, while, of course, doing the classic naming of Barack Obama's full name with the scary middle name Hussein. It's just ridiculous. But let's start with him lying about the Walmart did a study, he says, and that prices are down 25%, which obviously is a lie. He's not just lying about what Walmart, there's no study. We'll get to that, though. Watch Donald Trump really try to bend reality to his will.
And also, I want to thank Walmart because they came up with a fantastic study. It was the cost of Thanksgiving coming up and the cost of Thanksgiving from a year ago under Sleepy Joe Biden. And we're 25% lower this year than we were a year ago. And it's a very inclusive report. So I want to thank Walmart. They've done it for many years, but we believe in that, and we believe in that company.
I also want to thank Walmart. They came up with a fantastic study. We're 25% lower than we were a year ago, he says. What he's talking about is a Thanksgiving box that you can purchase at Walmart, like a meal in a box. You don't have to worry about buying all of the other fixins for Thanksgiving here in the United States. It's 25% less, but it's not 25% less because grocery prices are down. In fact, it's been talked about enough that there's a legitimate fact check from Daniel Dale at CNN, and this is what he found. Cheaper Walmart Thanksgiving meal touted by Trump has fewer items than last year's. President Donald Trump keeps touting the fact that Walmart's promotional Thanksgiving meal basket is cheaper this year than it was last year. But Trump hasn't mentioned that this year's basket is different than last year's, in particular, that it contains significantly fewer items. This year's basket contains 15 products, 6 fewer than the 21 products in the 2024 basket. If you're counting each individual item, like each can of green beans separately, it's 22 items this year compared to 29 items last year. In addition, items from Walmart's Great Value store brand make up a greater percentage of this year's basket than last year's, which included a larger proportion of name brands. As of the most recent Consumer Price Index figures for September, average grocery prices were up 2.7% higher than they were a year prior and about 1.4% higher than they were in January, the month Trump returned to office. Average grocery prices rose 0.3% from August to September after a 0.6% increase from July to August, which was the biggest month-to-month jump in 3 years. One, it wasn't a study conducted by, or as he categorized it, came up with a study. It wasn't a study that was came up with by Walmart. It's just their food basket, which now contains fewer items and not name brand shit. It's the Great Value store brand, which there's a higher profit margin on, and they charge less for. Now, the other thing he did, which is in true Donald Trump idiot fashion, the moron in chief here, is ramble about how he's going to be paying Americans a whole bunch of money so they can become entrepreneurs and pay for their own health care, as though Americans aren't paying for their own health care now. The whole thing is just a masterclass in jackassery from Donald Trump, as we become accustomed. Watch this.
But it all includes fixing the healthcare system that Democrats broke with the disaster known as Obamacare. Obamacare was a disaster from day one. It's done nothing but go up. And if you remember President Barack Hussein Obama, when he came up with this crazy idea, he said everything's going to be great, rates are going to go down, payments are going to go down, everything's going to go down. It went the exact opposite, with the biggest increase of healthcare in any country. It's a disaster. And I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care, which will be far better and far less expensive than the disaster known as Obamacare. And I've had, I think, great support. I've even had Democrat support. So we want the money that would be going to the insurance company, which is hundreds of billions of dollars. You know, their stock prices have gone up by 1,000% in many cases, 1,000% over a short period of time, because our country stupidly pays them so much money with this Obamacare scandal. So I want the money to go directly to you, the people. And you go out and you'll buy your own health insurance and you'll negotiate different plans and you'll get much better insurance and you will be an entrepreneur for yourself.
Somebody tell me what he's talking about. Somebody who's a Trump whisperer or interpreter, please. I am calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care. Who, pray tell, Donald Trump, would they be buying the health care from? Would it be insurance companies who will be paid using the money that you pay Americans? By the way, there's no details about any of it. It's just him rambling. There's no plan. Every time you try to pin down a Republican on what the health care plan is to replace the Affordable Care Act, it's crickets. We have nothing. Oh, we have a concept of a plan. But there's no plan. And him calling Obamacare a scandal, if adding tens of millions of Americans to the insurance rolls and ensuring that insurance companies can't cut you off your health care because of a pre-existing condition, if that is a scandal, then sign me the up for the scandal, folks. Donald Trump has never had to worry about paying a premium, paying for health insurance. He's never had to worry about where his next meal is going to come from. He's a silver spoon jackass who's never been challenged. There's never been adversity, ever, other than the stress of maybe criminal prosecution because of his crimes. So don't take the advice of a rich guy, a now literal billionaire, about what's best for you, your budget, your health care. If they do repeal Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, and bring back an ability of insurance companies to cut you off your insurance, cut me off my insurance because I had cancer 3 years ago, what kind of a system is this? We claim to be the greatest nation in the world, the richest country on the planet, yet we can't provide health care like every other industrialized nation does. Every single other country does it. And we can't because Donald Trump doesn't want to pay the insurance companies, but he'll pay us so we can pay what? When the perennial question, are Republicans going to wake up here? Because you'll be kicked off your insurance too, GOP. If they end the Affordable Care Act or the scary Obamacare, you're going to get fucked too. You're going to be harmed too. Nobody wants that. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. We can have it in the comments below the video. You can also call the voicemail line. 714-576-4054 is the phone number. You can call, leave a voicemail. You can also do it the old-fashioned way. I'm not talking about writing a letter. I'm talking about writing an email. daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. I, for one, am here for the panic. I'm here for it. I'd love to hear from you. Be genuine. Take care of one another. It is absolutely difficult to keep a cool head in this political climate, especially with the added aggravation of these overheated outdoor temperatures. How can you be expected to conduct any clear-headed discourse with your drawers in a sweaty soup? My go-to for keeping things cool, sheath underwear. I'm wearing a pair right now, and let me tell you, it's like nighttime in the desert down there, all day long. Head to sheath.com and use promo code Dollemore to score 20% off and upgrade yourself to the most comfortable underwear that you'll ever wear. How do they differ from your average boxers? Well, let me tell you. Invented by a U.S. Army veteran while serving a tour in Iraq, Sheath's boxer fabric is designed with a moisture-wicking technology. Their underwear features a unique dual pouch system that keeps all your man parts comfortably separated instead of sticking together. We all know the feeling of the old eggs getting stuck to the pan, if you know what I mean. My favorites are the airflow meshes, which seem especially equipped to handle my thighs. They're bigger thighs. But Sheath has also tons of other fabric options and designs that you can get into. And I'm clearly not the only one singing the praises out there. Sheath are recommended by multiple doctors and urologists and have over 20,000 5-star reviews. Also, Sheath supports multiple charities like Socks for Soldiers and Doctors Without Borders. So while you're upgrading your undies, you can be making the world a more upstanding place too. It's tough to focus on draining the swamp when you are swampy mess yourself. Sheath's boxers will help you keep the temperature down by bringing up the level of comfortability. Score 20% off right now at sheath.com and use promo code Dollemore.